Namo Buddhaya. In life, in some instances, we regret about the things that we have done in the past. Right? We think that, I shouldn't have done this thing. Right? If I did not do this thing, my future and present will be much better than now. Like that, we regret about the things that we have done. Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught us a way or the facts that you should develop within your life to build up a life without the regrets. So this great advice was preached by our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, in Alavaka Sutta. In that sutta, it says, to build up a life without the regret, you need to have 4 qualities. You need to have 4 qualities. Number 1, Supreme Buddha said, you need to live a life with truthfulness. That means you need to speak always the truth. Now, when we take this fact, normally people think in order to escape from the problems, in order to escape from the difficult situations that they find in their life, they need to lie to the people. Right? If they say a lie, then they can escape from that. Of course, for that instance, they can escape from that problem. But remember, if you say a lie, if you tell a lie to someone, you will have to remember that lie forever. Because you need to protect that lie without being revealed. Right? So sometimes you need to tell 10 more lies to protect that one lie. So after the truth has been revealed, because one day the truth wins always. So after the truth has been revealed, the people will regret about what they have done in the past. They will think, I shouldn't have said this thing. In that time I shouldn't live that like that. So Supreme Buddha taught us, you should live a truthful life in order to live a life without regrets. Number 1. Number 2, Supreme Buddha said, you should be wise. You should have the wisdom in your life. So what is the wisdom? You should be wise in taking decisions of your life. Remember, your life is so valuable. It has a great value. The decisions that you make in your life, the choices that you make in your life will determine your success in your life. Right? So that is why Supreme Buddha said, you need to be wise in making choices in your life. So every time when the thoughts pop up in our mind, we make a choice to act on them. Right? When evil thoughts pop up in your mind, evil thoughts like anger, resentment, hatred, jealousy, when these thoughts arise in our mind, we make the choice to act upon them. And also when the wholesome thoughts pop up in our mind, we make the choice to act on them or speak on them. So our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, you need to make a good choice. When the good thoughts arise inside your mind, you need to make a choice. I should do this. I should do this action. This is a wholesome thing. This is a good thing to do. Right? When the evil thoughts pop up in your mind, what you have to think is, no, these thoughts are not good for my life. These are harmful for me as well as to the others. Right? So I should not do this thing. I should not speak like this. In that way, you need to make a good choice to always bring your life from evil to the wholesome. That is called the wisdom. The ability to find what is good and what is bad. Ability to distinguish what is good and what is bad. It is called the wisdom. And also Supreme Buddha describes the wisdom so much far away from that point. But in your life, you have to be wise in making decisions. You have to be wise when you choose your friends. You have to be wise when you're dealing with people. Right? If you live a wisdomful life, right? If you live a life full of wisdom, your life will never remain in regret. So that is the second one. Number 3, Supreme Buddha said, you need to be courageous. In order to achieve any successful goal in our lives, we need to work hard. We need to work hard without giving up. Each and every successful person in this world had the courage to achieve those successful goals. Right? Without hard work, without practicing, without the courage, you cannot achieve good goals in your life. Right? If you did not have the courage in the time that you should have courage, right? After you become old, after all those chances are blown away from your life, remember, you will have to regret about your life. So that is why Supreme Buddha said, you have to earn money when you are young, or you have to live a wholesome life when you are young. When you become old, if you did not earn money, and as well as if you did not live a wholesome life, you will have to regret about your life. So that is why Supreme Buddha said, be courageous in your life. Right? Practice the courage. If you have the courage in you, if you have the dedication within your life, you can achieve the good goals in your life. That is number 3. Number 4, Supreme Buddha said, having all these qualities, you should be generous. So what is generosity? Generosity means ability to give the things in your life and share the things in your life with others. Right? Normally people, when they become more wealthy, right, when they become rich, they don't like to give the things to others. Remember, life is not living only for yourself. Life is also about how we dedicate our lives for others, how we help others. Right? So that is why Supreme Buddha said, you can be rich, earn money, no problem, but you should be generous. Don't be stingy. Be a helping hand to this world. Right? So if you practice the generosity within you, you can be happy with yourself, because you feel that you have done something good in your life. You have helped someone in your life. Right? Helping people, the feeling that we get after helping a person, remember, that is one of the greatest and the sweetest memories in our life, happiest moments in our life. So help people, be generous. So if you have these 4 qualities in your life, what is that? Truthfulness, wisdom, courage, and generosity. If you have these 4 qualities within you, Supreme Buddha taught us, you will never have a life with regrets, and you can escape from the regrets in your life. So practice these 4 qualities and build up a life without the regrets. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the 3-fold practices in Buddhism. Now, no matter how the way that you are approaching the Buddha's teachings, these are the 3 practices that you need to practice in Buddhism. Okay? So we are going to take a look at these things. Before understanding these 3 practices, we have to understand why we should practice these things. Okay? What is the goal and what is the ultimate goal of Buddha's teachings? Now, the ultimate goal of all the Buddhist teachings is to liberate your mind from unsatisfactoriness. Okay? Liberate your mind from all the sufferings in life. Okay, because the Buddha said that the life is based on unsatisfactoriness. Okay, so once you have a deeper and a wiser understanding about your life, then you can liberate your mind from all the unsatisfactorinesses in your life. Okay, so Buddha realized that to achieve this state, to enlighten your mind and to liberate your mind, you need to make some conditions and you have to practice your mind. So that is why Buddha introduced us these 3 practices to practice in our practical life in order to enlighten our mind. So without any further ado, let's dive into these practices. So the first practice in Buddhism is called Sila. Now I have discussed about Sila in an earlier video, you can watch it here. So basically, the Sila means the moral and ethical conduct, being disciplined from your body and from your words. Okay, so once you practice this Sila, you can be disciplined from your body and from your words. Now Buddha understood that when we are living with people, the way we behave, right, the actions that we do from our body and the words that we speak will impact the lives of other people as well as us. Okay, it will impact the life of ourselves, the way we behave and way we speak, and also it will highly influence the others' lives too. And that is why Buddha said, purify your conduct. Do wholesome things from your body and from your words. So Sila helps you to practice the verbal and the physical conduct in a moral and a more ethical and wholesome way. Okay, so in Sila we have precepts. Basically, for lay people like you, you have 5 precepts that you can protect. Okay, the first one is abstaining from killing beings. The Buddha says that stay away from killing beings. In that way, you become disciplined from your body. Abstaining from stealing. Do not take others' possessions without their permissions, without the permissions of themselves, with the stealing mind. Okay, once you protect that, you be disciplined from your body. And Buddha said that stay away from sexual misconduct. When you abstain from sexual misconduct, you become disciplined from your body. And the Buddha said, stay away from lying. Be disciplined from your words. Do not break the trust of others from your words. And finally, Buddha says, stay away from intoxicating your body. Okay, do not use intoxicants and other drugs. It will lead to harmful situations and harmful consequences in your life. So basically, Buddha introduced us these 5 precepts to protect in your life. When you observe and when you protect these 5 precepts, you become disciplined from your body. Okay, so that is why Sila helps you to be disciplined, to live a disciplined life. Why we should live a disciplined life? We should live a disciplined life to stay away from regrets. Because when you look at these 5 precepts, if you engage in these things, if you kill animals, if you steal others' possessions, if you commit sexual misconduct, if you lie, and if you intoxicate yourself, what will happen? There will be a lot of regrets in your life. And also there will be things that you have to worry about. That is why Buddha says, stay away from these 5 things and you will live a regretless life. Okay, so that is the first practice. Moving on to the second practice, we have Samadhi. Now, Samadhi can be translated as concentration or mental peacefulness inside your mind. Now, remember, this Samadhi is supported by the first practice that is called the Sila. The Buddha said, when you practice Sila or when you live a moral and ethical life, what will happen? You will have less regrets in your mind. You will have no regrets in your mind. Once you have no regrets in your mind, what will happen? It will lead to the mental happiness. Because most of the people, they worry about the things that they have done in the past. Okay? Unwholesome things that they have done in the past. But once you live according to the precepts, once you live a virtuous life, then you can be happy about yourself. And also, your mind will be in a good and a happy state. That is why this samadhi is supported by the sila. Now, why we need samadhi? Now, we need samadhi to think clearly. Because you know that when your mind is busy, when your mind is scattered, and when it runs here and there, it is very difficult to think clearly. Now, Buddha considered that thinking clearly and thinking freely is a great benefit to understand the reality of your life. And that is why we need to practice samadhi. For practicing samadhi, Buddha introduced many meditations. So one type of meditation is called samatha meditation. Samatha meditations helps you to condense your mind and find that peacefulness inside your mind. Okay? It includes loving kindness meditations, breathing meditations, mindfulness meditations. All those meditations will help you to achieve a peaceful and a calm life. Okay? So, but remember this, to achieve a peaceful and calm life, we have to focus on living a virtuous life, living a disciplined life. Keep that in your mind. So let's move on to the third practice, and this is the final practice in Buddha's teachings. That is called wisdom or panya in Buddhism. Now, so many people think that knowledge is wisdom. Always remember, knowledge is a part of wisdom, but it is not the wisdom. Now, Buddha explains that you must achieve wisdom from three means, from three types of wisdoms. The first type of wisdom is called Suttamaya Panya. Suttamaya Panya means the wisdom that is gained through learning. Okay, you can learn, you can read, and you can listen to sermons, right? That is called the knowledge. Of course, wisdom has a part of knowledge. And also the second type of wisdom is called Chintamaya Prajna. Chintamaya Prajna is the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Okay, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting on what you have learned, the reality of your life. When Buddha teaches about the reality of the life, when Buddha teaches about the impermanence and the reality of all the things, you have to wisely reflect on it. Okay, you have to think upon it. And once you think and once you wisely reflect on it, you gain the wisdom. You gain a deeper understanding. Okay, that is called Chintamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. And also in the third type of wisdom, this is the most important type of wisdom, that is called Bhavanamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by practicing. Okay, now the wisdom that is gained by practicing is supported by all those two wisdoms, Chintamaya Prajna and Suttamaya Prajna, the wisdom that is gained by listening or learning, and also the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Now Buddha says, when you learn and when you think and when you wisely reflect on it, then you can apply it to your practical life by doing meditations, by doing it practically. Okay, many of the people believe that Bhavanamaya Prajna is only based on meditations. No, Bhavana does not mean only the meditation. It gives the meaning of development or practicing. Okay, so you have to look, how can I apply these Buddha's teachings? How can I practice these things in my practical life? Once you do it, your wisdom will be developed. That is how you practice the wisdom in Buddha's teachings. So basically, these are the three main practices in Buddhism. Sila gives you the ethical and wholesome bodily and verbal conduct. And Samadhi will help you to develop a concentrated and a calmer and a peaceful mind. And Prajna gives you a deeper and a wiser understanding about the reality and our existence and all the experiences that we go through in our life. Once you practice these three practices, you will be directed. Your life will be focused on liberation. Your mind will be well prepared for the liberation and to a deeper understanding about the life. So these are the 3 practices that we practice in Buddhism. Try to practice these things and try to apply it to your practical life. Wish you all happy and a peaceful life. Namo Buddhaya.